Hi, I'm Madison Muller, and I've lived in the northern suburbs of Chicago for close to 21 years, although I've never taken the opportunity to explore the vast diversity of the different neighborhoods in Chicago. I thought to myself, what better way to explore the city than through its coffee shops? Coffee shops are traditionally places where residents can convene, where ideas are shared, and where people can spend minutes or hours of their day. Coffee shops embody the idea of a third place, not quite home, but not quite work, where residents can socialize, fly solo, or do work. I took to the CTA Red Line, which goes all the way from Howard Station on the north to 95th and Dan Ryan on the south to find some of Chicago's best coffee shops. Out of hundreds of coffee shops in the city, I chose 3 coffee shops on the north side and 3 on the south side. Cheers! With train stops from 2 different L lines, a beautiful stretch of shoreline to the east, and the home of the Chicago Cubs, Lakeview is one of Chicago's busiest and most popular neighborhoods. At Osmium Coffee Bar on West Belmont, the spirit of Lakeview is captured through its encouragement of diversity and community. Lakeview encompasses distinct areas like Boys Town, which was the first officially recognized gay village in the United States. At Osmium, I had the chance to talk to 2 Boys Town residents, Lily Universe and Anna Thayer, about their favorite and least favorite parts of Chicago.
I have access to a wider queer community that I didn't have in the place where I lived before, and I don't have to feel weird, holding hands with my girlfriend, walking around, that kind of thing.
And I have so much access to so many resources like Howard Brown and the Center on Halstead. That it's made my life infinitely easier than it really ever has been. I still have to wear my headphones when I walk around outside during the day because I get catcalled or shouted transphobic slurs at me on the regular.
In the north side neighborhood of Lincoln Park, acres upon acres of sprawling green spaces can be found amongst historic churches, brick houses, and bustling restaurants and businesses. Directly across from one of these green spaces is Elaine's Coffee Call on North Clark Street. An antique-looking cafe that shares its space with the Hotel Lincoln, it draws tourists and Chicagoans alike for their daily caffeine fix. Here I was able to speak with Sophia Fallon about the things she loves about the city and the things she thinks Chicago needs to change.
People are friendlier than the Northeast, is where I'm from. And I also like that you're so close to the water, like the lake. We were just talking about the bike lanes being difficult sometimes to navigate, especially in the Loop area. And then I have no idea how it could be done with the education system. I don't necessarily like the idea of students having to apply to go to high school. I think it creates barriers and separates the wealthy from the not wealthy, giving them worse circumstances.
One of the country's most affluent neighborhoods, the Gold Coast, lies just north of downtown with a cozy spot near Lake Michigan. With the Magnificent Mile nearby and the incredible restaurants on Rush Street just steps away, the area is a popular and expensive tourist destination. Here, I visited the renowned luxury furniture store, Restoration Hardware. It has added the 3 Arts Cafe and Coffee Bar, regal-looking spaces sporting gold fountains and glimmering chandeliers. Average household income sits around $138,000 a year, and 84% of the neighborhood is white. I sat down with 15-year-olds Gabby and Rebecca to talk about their favorite and least favorite parts of living in Chicago.
Just so many shops and so many cool places to visit and a lot of cool places to take pictures. I like the friendly atmosphere and just shops and meeting new people and just learning about people. Definitely the poverty level, it's hard to help everyone, but I try my best, but if we could definitely help more homeless people, that'd be better.
Home to the Chicago White Sox, Bridgeport on Chicago's south side offers a rich ethnic heritage in close proximity to other cultural enclaves like Chinatown and Pilsen. The neighborhood is charming and homey with restaurants, bars, record stores, bike shops, and Chicago pride. At Jackalope Coffee and Tea on West 32nd Street, the essence of Bridgeport can be felt and seen through art, creative spins on classic coffee shop items, and a celebration of its diverse ethnic heritage. Bridgeport was once plagued by gang violence and racial clashes, but has overcome its past to be the prosperous neighborhood that celebrates its diversity today. At Jackalope, Jonathan Murray, who moved to Bridgeport from New Jersey, told me what he loves about Chicago and what he thinks the city still needs to work on.
The diversity of restaurants, honestly. I come from Jersey, so there's so many different vibes in different parts of the city, and they're all easily accessible. On the tail end of that, the segregation in the city, it's really hard with redlining to see like the disparity between like different ethnic groups in different areas, and trying to go to all the businesses is a lot of jumping around.
Between 1910 and 1920, millions of African American workers traveled north as part of the Great Migration to escape oppression in the South. Many of these men and women settled in Bronzeville, creating a beautiful African American cultural allure that envelops the neighborhood to this day. On East 43rd Street, Sip and Savor resides, a black-owned business continuing Bronzeville's long history of celebration of African American culture. Here, I spoke with 29-year-old Jeremy Rembert about what his favorite and least favorite parts of Chicago are.
My favorite part about living in Chicago is the beat, if that makes sense. Like the culture, the atmosphere, the people, just different areas and how they, reflect the residents. It really has a pulse, and it's dope. What I notice now is people getting priced out of their neighborhoods. Again, like the culture of each area is kind of what makes it appealing. And, with property development and different things, the residents get priced out and shipped out to the suburbs, and they can no longer afford to live in the area that they kind of made that culture.
Hyde Park on Chicago's South Side is an area famous for its continued historical and social importance to the city of Chicago. It is home to two of Chicago's most significant institutions, the University of Chicago and the Museum of Science and Industry. Build Coffee, a cafe located right off University of Chicago's campus, is a beloved meeting space in the community. At Build, I spoke with co-founder Hannah Neihart about her impressions of the great and not so great parts about Chicago.
Okay, 3 things. The lake, which I love. I love like the first day in spring when it's nice out and everybody is like incredibly full of joy. And I love that this is a place where it feels like there's like room to build things in a way that I think in some places there isn't. Selfishly, my least favorite part is winter, which I abhor and makes me like every December I don't want to live here anymore. But on like a bigger level, like want to stay in my lane here. But also, I think if I could change anything, the single biggest thing that I would change is probably just like funding our schools better. I think that it's like total shame on the city that we don't do better by our kids.
Whether you're on the north side or the south side, there's always great conversation to be had over a cup of coffee. This has been Madison Muller for Medill. Thanks for watching.